Hi, and welcome to the Caterpillar Cross Stitch YouTube channel. My name is Ford, and this week I'm going to be sharing with you some techniques for handling what is, for a lot of people, the most difficult part of cross stitching, and that is threading the needle. It's so hard that it's an idiom for something that is difficult and delicate to do. So especially for people who have any sort of issues with vision impairment or fine motor skills, it can be a real challenge. So it's what I'm going to share a handful of techniques, and hopefully one of them will work well for you. I'm going to just jump right into the instruction if you promise to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave me a comment when we're done. It only takes you a few seconds, but it makes a really big difference for me, so I'd appreciate it if you would. Now, my first tip related to threading a needle is going to apply to almost any technique, and indeed possibly the technique that you're using now, which is that your floss, as soon as you cut it, starts to come unraveled. So even if it's only been a few minutes since you cut your floss, it's going to have unraveled a little bit. So right before you thread the needle, grab some nice sharp embroidery scissors like these Caterpillar branded ones that I have, and cut yourself a fresh end. That will make it a lot easier to thread the needle with the ends of your floss. But the first technique I'm going to show you is the old tried and true lick and stick, which is the way that I've always done it, although some people say that it's wrong to lick your floss. So all I do is I touch my floss to the tip of my tongue, just enough to dampen it a little bit, and then I use my fingertips to kind of pinch that into a little blade. See how skinny that makes it? That controls all the little flyaways and microscopic fibers, which, even if you can't see them, can get in the way of your ability to thread the needle. It makes it a lot easier to stick it through that nice big eye of that tapestry needle that I'm using. But it does require you to be able to see it pretty well, and it requires some precision, which can be difficult for some people. So that's why I'm going to go over a bunch of different methods. I'm very glad that you found me here on YouTube, but I'm just one part of the Caterpillar Cross Stitch family. Make sure you join the Facebook group and follow the Instagram so that you can take advantage of the tremendous reservoir of knowledge that this community contains. Now, the next one is one that I call the pinch and squeeze. And it's nice because it doesn't rely quite so much on vision. It's a little bit more tactile, though it does take some practice. So what I do is I just hold my two ends of floss, or the end of two pieces of floss, in my finger, and I pull that down just below the surface of my pinch. Then I take my needle and I align the eye with the direction that the floss is going to be, and I can just sort of feel my way onto those ends. This is a little bit difficult to film and demonstrate, and it does require some practice because you are kind of feeling where the needle is relative to the floss, but once you get it down, it works really, really well, and you don't have to switch to your bifocals. And the next one is kind of a variant on that, but instead of using the ends, I'm going to be using a bight, what we call in rope work a bight. So I've got the looped end there, and what I do is I hold my needle in that to get that bight as kind of tight as possible. And then I'll pull that floss against my fingers, and that will again control the floss so it's nice and compressed. And it will make it just a bit easier to feed that through the eye of my needle. Now, if I'm working from loop start, then all I have to do is pull that bight most of the rest of the way through to where I've got kind of a stitching length there, and then I've got my loop all ready to get started with a loop start stitch. Now, the next one is one that's kind of new to me that I've only started using recently, but I've been surprised how much I like it. And it's pretty simple. You just lay the floss across the palm of your hand. Now, I've tried using other pads on my hand and they just have not worked as well. Then I take my needle and I lay it such that it's sitting right on the floss. The eye is sitting right on the floss. And then I can just kind of wiggle my needle back and forth, which rolls the floss back and forth. And you can see that that has forced that floss through the eye. So then all I need to do is pinch that and pull it through, and I'm ready to start stitching. I'll keep it quick, but please go sign up for the Stitch Club newsletter. You'll get updates of all of our upcoming products and events, plus you'll get 10 free PDF cross-stitch patterns as soon as you sign up. So hit the link down there in the description or in the pinned comment so you can get all of that. And then, of course, the final technique is technology, or specialized equipment. There's no shame in using adaptive technology in order to be able to enjoy your hobbies still. So you can get one of these little needle threaders pretty inexpensively. Now, I do not like the ones that look like little Roman coins, the ones that are all metal. If you only have one of those, put a little dab of glue at the point where the little metal crimp is supposed to hold the little piece of wire in place. It'll make it work a lot better, but generally those just don't really work very well or for very long, which is where something like this comes in handy. There are a few things that I like about this particular one, and one of those things is that you can see it's got this little indentation there on the part that passes through the eye of the needle, and that holds the needle in place while you get your thread ready. Now, one thing that I recommend with needle threaders is rather than using the two ends and folding them over and sticking them through there, since that means you're pulling 4 strands through the eye of the needle, go to the middle of the piece, the bight, and stick that down into your little hook there, because that way you're only pulling 2 strands of floss through the eye of the needle. At this point, if you're pulling a bunch of strands through, you're putting a lot of stress on the floss, which creates a weak point. You're also putting a lot of stress on the eye of the needle, which increases the likelihood that you'll break it. So if you use the bight, the middle of the floss, instead of the ends, you only have to pull half as many through in order to be able to get started stitching. Now, those are most of my favorite ways to thread a needle. Did I miss one? Is there something you do differently? Leave it in the comments so that others can benefit from your wisdom. That is all I have for you this week, though, so I do want to thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. For Caterpillar Cross Stitch, my name is Ford, and I will see you next week.